Alright, and welcome back to episode 19 of the Alec Frengos show. This is a sports podcast centered around NBA and NFL, and today we'll be going over the AFC South record predictions. Would you rather? True or false? AFC South edition. The Price is Right, and who has the most pressure going into next season? And first here, we'll actually start with you here, Jay. Price is Right. Which position are we going to go through today?
Let me pull it up on my phone right now. Today we're doing edge rushers.
Okay.
Ooh. So
Let's go.
I think we all know the drill at this point. Top 10 list, starting at 10. Joey Bosa. I'm gonna sell him because I don't think he's very good anymore.
He's
too old.
Too. He's not good.
He can't bend like he used to.
He's injury prone.
He's injury prone. Yeah.
He's not
His
that
knees
good.
are giving out.
Well, I've never been super high on Joey Bosa, but a lot of good edge rushers in the league. I gotta think if there wasn't a lot drafted. Who am I thinking of? Well, Will Anderson.
None of those guys will be top 10 this year.
Can Will Anderson be better than Joey Bosa this year? Maybe.
I mean,
he's in a good
yeah
defensive system, but
he could.
What do you think?
I'd probably sell Joey Bosa just because he's not on the field full season and as much to be able to be considered up that top of the league. So I'd probably sell him based on all the better players in that position.
That's fair. Honestly, out of the gate, I might just hit hold because I feel like if he has a healthy season, he is in the top 10.
Yeah.
But I'll just hold on Joey Bosa. I'm not super high on him, though.
All right, and then number 9 is Von Miller. Personally, I'm going to buy on him because I think the Bills were way better when he was on the field. And he got so much pressure when he was on the field, and their defense was so much better with him.
Yeah, I like Von Miller a lot, but like any sport, it's hard to come back 100%.
Yeah.
From an ACL, especially when you are in the final years of your career. And I'd have to sell on Von Miller. I do like him though, and he's a quality edge rusher for the Bills, but I just think that he's obviously going to decline with an ACL and obviously getting up there a little bit.
I think I'm gonna hold on Von Miller. Obviously, I like him a lot, but the ACL. But I think he still can create a lot of pressure from the edge.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold on Von Miller too, just because I don't think he's completely washed. So, I mean, I'm not gonna sell him.
That's fair.
Yeah, he's actually got nasty longevity. Okay, number 8 is Matthew Judon.
I'm buying this. This is way too low.
I agree.
Year after year, he hasn't been like a top T.J. Watt, Garrett type of guy, but he's quality for the Patriots. He'll get you sacks in big time moments as well. He's the cornerstone of that Patriots defense, which has been known to be good for so many years.
Yeah.
He kind of came in on that contract where he wasn't really a superstar in Baltimore, and he kind of took the next step. And yeah, I'm buying Judon. Probably the best player on the Patriots defense right now.
For all those reasons, I'm buying as well.
He's probably the best player on their team. But yeah,
you
he's
could
my
say
favorite.
that. You could say that.
I think so.
They just have a lot of solid players.
Yeah, there's a lot of not to be troll, but Madden 80 to 85 overall players.
You're not wrong.
They don't have a 90s. They have 80, 85s.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of solid. Yeah, like you said, solid.
I'll buy Judon too. He fits right well in the Patriots' defensive system, so he'll just continue to get better.
Okay, number 7, I have Brian Burns.
I don't know. I like him a lot as a player. Panthers' defense is good.
I'm probably gonna hold on Brian Burns.
Yeah.
I just don't know where to stand yet.
Same.
This Carolina
I feel like
Panthers,
he could either break out huge here or he could just fade away. So
I'm gonna sell slightly just because I think Judon's better than him.
I think so.
Yeah, so I just think there's more edge rushers that are better than him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd hold.
I probably would. I think I'd hold too. It's kind of hard to pick because I have the list here, and I think everyone above him is better.
Yeah.
Right now, and
fair.
Judon could be. So, yeah. Number 6 is Max Crosby.
I'm sad to say this, but I have to buy on him. He's actually very, very good.
Yeah. You got to look at it. You got to say Garrett, T.J. Watt, Bosa,
Parsons.
Yeah, Parsons.
And then it's gonna be Reddick, Hassan Reddick.
And then you got to say Crosby though.
Yeah.
You got to put him in that conversation. I'd go as far as saying Crosby's better than Hassan Reddick. For that reason, I'd buy Max Crosby. Phenomenal, carries the Raiders big time.
Yeah, I'm buying Max Crosby too.
Me too. Okay. And then number 5 is Reddick.
I'm selling him. I feel like these stats are a little bit inflated just based off of how stacked the D-line is. You can't really get doubles off on the talented team. Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox in the interior. Now you get Jalen Carter in the mix.
Yeah.
Sweat was in there after the trade deadline. D-line's just loaded. And if you put these guys here one-on-one every play,
Yeah.
wouldn't be fun for a lot of QBs. So sell on Hassan Reddick.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell too. I think he won't reach the sack number he had last year, whatever that was.
Yeah.
Just because I don't even know if he'll be on the field, like if he's a 3-down edge rusher, because of all the talent they have, and I think the guys ahead of him are a lot more valuable to their teams.
I agree. I think his stats are like a product of his team's production almost, like his team being so good. Because that D-line's so good, and he, like, fair play to him, he capitalized on all his opportunities last year, but I'm going to sell on him. I think his stats are slightly inflated, like you said. And then number 4 is TJ Watt, which I think is nuts, and I am buying on him.
I'm buying too.
I'm buying for sure on TJ Watt coming back.
I don't even need
Full
to say
healthy
anything
season,
else.
yeah.
It's an instant buy.
Yeah.
All right, and then number 3 is Parsons.
I'm buying.
So-
In my opinion, he's the best defensive player in the NFL. I don't like if you want to say T.J. Watt, Garrett, and Bosa are better. That's fine. I'd take Micah Parsons over all of them. He can play. He can. It feels like he can play any position on the field. He's just a unicorn who's seen nothing like him. I'm buying Micah Parsons.
I'm buying Micah Parsons too.
Me
Buying.
too.
Yeah.
I like his versatility. He's probably the most versatile of this top group.
Mm-hmm.
Second is Myles Garrett, which I think's kind of a tough position for him.
I really like Myles Garrett. I'm going to go with the slight buy.
Okay.
Miles Garrett.
Yeah,
Which number?
2.
2.
I'm gonna hold Myles Garrett. I think it's
This is one of these when you
Yeah,
get to the
yeah.
top of this list, you just gotta hold because he is elite, but the guy in front of him is better in my opinion. So yeah, hold.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna slightly sell just because I think Parsons is better than him, and I do think T.J. Watt's better than when he's healthy on the field. And then number 1 is Bosa, Nick Bosa.
Yeah, I think Bosa's phenomenal, and he probably is I'd say Nick Bosa's my number 3 edge rusher, so I'm going to sell a little bit. I have Parsons, Watt, Bosa in that order, so yeah, I'm going to slightly sell on Nick Bosa here.
I'm going to sell Bosa just on the fact that he won Defensive Player of the Year. Like, I don't think he'll
You
repeat
can't get much
that.
better than that, yeah.
so-
Well, unless breaks TJ Watt's and Michael Strahan's sack record, but that's very difficult to do.
Yeah, I think someone will surpass him this year, so I'm gonna slightly sell on him. But credit to him, he's an awesome player. So
I might hold on him just because I think he can get to the numbers before.
agree.
Maybe not win another
Yeah.
Defensive Player of the Year, but I think he'll always be around what he had last year. So I don't think he's gonna have an extreme downgrade. So I think I just gotta hold on him.
I think the depoy is going to one of those top 4 this year. But yeah. That's it.
All right, so I cooked up a couple questions here during that, and we're going to play true or false. I'm going to ask you guys a question about each AFC South team, and you got to tell me, is this going to be true or is this going to be false going into this year?
All right.
And the first question here, Will Levis will end the year for the Titans at quarterback, true or false?
I'm gonna go with false.
Okay.
I think they might have a chance potentially with Ryan Tannehill. I think, DeAndre Hopkins will always be a good receiver. I always like DeAndre Hopkins, so I think they can maybe do something there in Tennessee, but it's kind of tough because then it's like a rookie quarterback. Maybe at the end, all of a sudden everything goes wrong, and then they'll just go, "Hey, we'll start you." But I think for now, I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Go ahead, Jay.
Well, yeah, I'm going to say no, too. I think Tannehill, people are kind of sleeping on him a little bit because people forget, like, 2 years ago, he brought that team to the playoffs, and he was a solid facilitator. I think he's still a good player. I could definitely see Levis starting by the end of this year, but I think it's more likely he starts at the start of next year.
Okay.
I think.
I'm going to say true. I think it'll be like the Commanders of Sam Howell. Like, well, I won't leak my record, but, like, with how I think they might be out of the playoffs by at that point, and they just see what they got. Because they already saw what they got in Malik Willis, and I don't think they're too pleased.
Not too
in
much,
that.
yeah. I'm also gonna go true. I think it's just based on the fact of the Titans and how their schedule projects out for me. I think that Tannehill, you know what you have in Tannehill. you know what you have in Willis. I think you do know what you have in Willis. Maybe if you give him one more chance, that's fine. And Levis is this huge wild card, right? He was rumored to go number 1 overall in the draft and then fell early second round. So I feel like if the Titans do underperform, maybe like after a bye week or they're just sick of Tannehill and they're eliminated to the playoffs, I think they just throw Levis in there with D-Hop, see what he can create. And yeah, I'm not going to say too much on the Titans because we're obviously going to get into it. Next question. Trevor Lawrence will be a top 3 MVP candidate this year. True or false, Joey?
I'm going to say true. I think this offense has tons of potential now with Calvin Ridley. I think he's just right in the system. He's a good quarterback for them, and I think he'll lead them to success this year.
Okay.
I don't think he'll even be top 5 because I just think that the talent is just too good. Like, I think Mahomes is almost a lock unless he gets hurt. And then I think Hurts will be back up there, and then I definitely think like Herbert and Burrow and those guys. I think those guys will be better than him this year. Although adding Ridley, he could make it, but I'm gonna say no as of right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go false just because of. I mean, I don't think Lawrence, in my opinion, is a top 5 quarterback yet, so that's why I can't really have him in a top 5 MVP voting.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, he'll be better, but I just think all the other quarterbacks who I think are better than him will still have a better season, better numbers.
Yeah, he's kind of on the on the bubble for me, a top 3 MVP candidate, but I'm also gonna go false. I just think that the talent, it's just a ton, and this is Canada. It's not who will win it. You could even say Justin Jefferson's an MVP candidate over Trevor Lawrence when it comes down to the year. If he's near the receiving record again, he's got a ton of touchdowns and receptions. Like, Kupp was a top 3 MVP candidate when he had that season.
Yeah,
I think Jefferson gets clouded a lot in the NFL. So if he has a crazy season and breaks the receiving record, he could damn near win the thing if no QB throws for a ton of yards.
I just don't see him doing repeating his production again though. Adding Addison and stuff, and if he didn't do it this year, it's gonna be so hard.
But no, that's just an example. I'm just saying that there's a ton of candidates, and Burrow's going to be in the mix. Mahomes is going to be in the mix. Hurts is going to be Hurts. I know for a fact Hurts will want a damn MVP because he seems to me the player that's just so motivated right now. But yeah, I'm going to go false here. Next question. I'll start with you, Jay. Anthony Richardson will throw more than 11 interceptions. True or false?
I'm going to go true. I think he's starting the whole year, basically. It's already confirmed.
Like, they won't pull him.
So, and I think they're going to be down in a lot of games just based off of the roster. I don't think that they're super good. And he's kind of a guy who likes to make the big-time throw. He hasn't really developed his full potential as a passer yet, so I think he'll definitely do that.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I don't know, 11 interceptions seems pretty high. I mean...
How much did Lawrence throw his rookie year? Can you search that up?
I think it was
Ryan.
I think it was above 11.
Was it? Okay. I think just maybe Richardson will maybe try and make these big plays, but I think he'll just run quite a bit. That'll maybe limit these interceptions.
As well.
Yeah, so it's like him when the pocket collapses, he won't be running around looking for a pass, which will get into situations of interceptions. I think he'll just be able to tuck it and run, and soak just a 4-yard gain if you're on 1st and 15 or something.
That'll obviously limit probably like 5 or more interceptions just based off of the running ability, where if he's rolling out, he won't have to make a tight window. He could just use his brute physicality and just run for it.
Lawrence threw 17 picks.
Yeah.
Because
I just remember him having a ton, but he had
do
Urban Meyer, and that team was just a dumpster fire, right?
Yeah, I didn't really have anybody to throw
to.
But
for me, Anthony Richardson, I'm going to say that he will have more than 11 interceptions. I just think that Shane Steichen is... He's almost going to want him to throw interceptions because he needs to learn the offense. Yeah. The Colts aren't going anywhere this year, so he says, hey, if you're going to throw these balls and realize where you went wrong reading these defenses, but you're going to learn from it, do it. Because if I'm the Colts, I don't have a lot of expectations, but if Richardson can have a year like this and then be like Lawrence was last year, I think it's a huge win for the Colts. So if Richardson just learns, I think it's perfect for this team. Go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, I'm going to say he throws more than 11 just based off the past history of rookie quarterbacks and how he kind of is. Like Jay said, he likes throwing those big-time throws, and he's not like the most accurate thrower, so I'll go with he throws more.
Okay. Last one here. the Texans have a legitimate shot at winning the division. True or false?
No.
Jay?
I'll go first.
No.
No. They are not good.
I like the Texans.
No way they win that
I
division.
mean, I don't think they'll win the division.
Because this is
but-
the worst division in football.
But there's-
Second worst.
Well,
Yeah,
I
no,
won't.
I don't think they'll win the
NFC
division.
South or this.
I think it's probably second worst, but dude.
Because it's tough to come in with a rookie quarterback and win a
Like,
division
yeah.
right
Yeah.
away. So
No.
I think we've seen crazier
think
things,
so.
but I'm obviously gonna
Yeah.
go no. I love Stroud, but I'm not super high on this offense. He doesn't really have anyone to throw to. Mechie, Nico Collins, Schultz I like as the addition, but didn't like their O tackle they just re-signed. I forget his name. Did he not just break his hand?
Yeah, it was
Titus Howard.
Yeah. Didn't they just pay him big money too?
Yeah, and he's
But yeah, the defense too, a couple young pieces, Stingley, Petrie, Will Anderson. I think this defense will be good in a couple years. It's just not ready right now, in my opinion. I thought I'd throw that one in for a little wild card. But before we're not going to do a would you rather here. We're going to start with which player, coach, anything, GM, trainer has the most pressure on them going into next season. And I'm going to start with you, Joey.
I kind of just cooked this up now, but I'm going to go with Brandon Staley. Like, after that playoff loss
That's fair.
and the talent around them with the true quarterback, I think they have to make the playoffs and
They have to win a playoff
game for him not to be fired, because if he underperforms, he's out of there right away.
Yeah, Jay, go ahead.
Well, yeah, same as Chunk. I kind of just made this up now, but thinking about it makes perfect sense to me. Is Aaron Rodgers. It's pretty clear to me that if the Jets don't make the playoffs, then there's gonna be I think it's gonna be a riot in New York, because these guys this is probably the most hype the Jets have had in 10 plus years of having a team. Best quarterback they've had since like Johnny Unitas in
Maybe
like
ever.
Super Bowl III.
Okay,
He could even be the best quarterback ever that they've had.
Let me ask you a question. Would you have said, if we did this 4 years ago, would you have said Brady has the most pressure, Stafford has the most pressure, Wilson has the most pressure, or no?
I would have said, I think Stafford definitely had pressure, because he didn't do anything in the playoffs for so long, and people said that it was his fault, but it was Detroit's fault.
I would have said Brady would have some pressure too.
Yeah,
Going to
but
Tampa
I
Bay,
think
you're saying?
he's literally done everything
Yeah,
in his
Because if you look at the
career, so-
roster, it was pretty stacked, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to pull it off first year, right? But
Yeah.
Rodgers is one of those talents where you're able
Yeah,
to, I think
but
so.
yeah, I just think the expectations are so high, and if they don't make the playoffs, then I don't know what's gonna happen there. But I think he could be safe another year, but you never know, because he's supposed to be the savior for the Jets.
Go ahead.
I had a lot for Buffalo. I mean, what's their coach name?
Sean
Sean
McDermott.
McDermott.
Yeah.
I think him
He
has pressure
is in the freaking hot
because
seat.
it's just
Big
him. He's got to get his team together. Like,
He does.
I mean, his OC Ken Dorsey, they got to get their stuff figured out, because they're not making plays enough for your best receiver. You always got to get your best receiver the ball. And when Diggs is doing what he did in the playoffs, getting all mad at Allen or whatnot, and then their defense just conceding points. Like, I mean, as a Dolphins fan, watching Skylar Thompson put up numbers on them in the playoffs, it's like,
Now-
I feel like they have a lot of pressure, especially Josh Allen with his ball control, interceptions. I feel
Clumsy.
like, and them not being able to get over a hump where they can beat Mahomes in the playoffs, beat Burrow in the playoffs. Now it seems like they're always just going to be stuck in that first round win, but then can't go any further than that. So I think
Yeah.
it's on McDermott to get his whole crew together and get everything going.
Yeah, I think, well, now they had Leslie Frazier calling the plays on defense for Buffalo. Now it's Sean McDermott, who
okay.
he's going to be taking over for the defensive play calls. So if it's the same as last year or a little bit worse, I think he's gone. And I think if the Buffalo Bills don't exceed that, he's gone too, no matter what, because he is the head coach. And then you could also just dump Ken Dorsey too, because he's done nothing to really help Diggs as well. But going to Buffalo, the person with the most pressure in the NFL this year is Josh Allen. I actually don't think it's close either. People of Buffalo, they want to say they love him and all this stuff. Josh Allen this, Josh Allen that. You've done nothing. He hasn't done anything. He hasn't even won an MVP. He hasn't taken them to a Super Bowl. Him and his defense. Well, he didn't lose that AFC Championship game,
that's not his fault,
or divisional round. It's not his fault, but Bengals, he folded. Dolphins, he almost folded. If Tua was in, he would have folded. And I don't know. I feel like if this Buffalo team wants to be like every year, Josh Allen, yay, you're coming back, top 3 regular season QB, but you do nothing in the playoffs. Bills fans are going to start to get pissed off at him. You got to be sick of him if he's just going to come in every year, great regular season, and just not deliver in the big time moments every single year. And Josh Allen, he's under a lot of pressure. If the Bills do not make the Super Bowl, Diggs out, McDermott out, Ken Dorsey out, Josh Allen is left alone to a mediocre Buffalo team. That's what I just think. I think because all these people are going to get so sick. Well, Bean will just fire McDermott and Dorsey off the jump, but Diggs is going to want out. You already saw. Imagine if they lose again and they don't make the Super Bowl. He's going to be fuming.
Yeah, he's going to have some mental health
He'll
problems
demand a
if he
trade. And Josh Allen, you
bad.
got a lot of pressure going into next season, and I think that if you under-succeed again, Buffalo could be screwed for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Could very well, yeah.
So you got Staley?
Yeah.
Rodgers.
Whole Bills team.
That's fair. I got Josh Allen, rightfully so, and we'll get into here the AFC South predictions. We'll see here, one of the weaker divisions in the NFL, but we'll go ahead here, Jay. You want to lead us off here at number 4?
Yeah. So for my number 4, I have Houston at 3-14. I think they could win a couple more games than that, but I just don't see this team as being ready. And from the little I've seen from Stroud in the preseason, I don't think that offense will be very good. Obviously, you got the backup O-line in and stuff. He'll have more time to throw, but I don't know. I just don't see it piecing together quite yet this year. I think next year, it's definitely a different story, and I think they can contend for the division. But at this point, I don't see them being very competitive.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I also got the Texans at 3-14. I just think there's not much to them. They're just a young team. I think in their division, I think the Titans will beat them twice. Jags will beat them twice. They'll split with the Colts, I think. So I just don't think they'll pull out any outside of division wins, like an extreme amount. I think 3 wins is like a pretty calm number to me. I don't see them going any higher than that.
Coming in at number 4 for me is the Houston Texans at 2-15. I'm not really high on this team. I don't think that they'll win a lot of games, quite frankly, of like what the Jaguars did. They could have the number 1 pick overall, which belongs to the Arizona
I can't believe
Cardinals.
they traded that. I was going to say that.
Unbelievable to me, but hey, if you think, well, they obviously got their QB, but you're basically trading something that's so valuable. If this turns into number 1, Caleb Williams, you could have traded that for a haul.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're going to roll with Stroud going into year 2, but holy,
yeah,
that's a big-time mistake by that front office, because they're not going to be a good football team this year. I have them coming in at 2-15. Nothing special for me, just bad, just a young, developing year.
Have they declared Stroud week 1 starter yet or no?
No.
No? Because, I mean,
Mills
he's not
season.
good.
Yeah,
Holy
because
shit.
maybe they could rock with Davis.
But I feel
Mills.
like everyone they have in the QB room, they know what they have, and just to give Stroud the experience,
Yeah,
right?
I don't
But some
even-
people say they don't want to ruin the confidence, but I think you got to put them
Yeah,
in there.
put his ass in there. Who cares?
Yo.
Right,
Go
number 4, I got the Houston Texans 4-13.
Yep.
I'm honestly kind of surprised
High
you
on
guys
them.
had them so. That's not.
No, I'm just
Their
just
schedule is very bad, and D'Amico Ryans creates a culture there that's very good, and the defense is still.
I think it will take
It's still
time,
average though.
I think it will take time, though, for that culture.
Yeah.
I could see this team, if Stroud pans out to a half-decent QB, I think this team will be a playoff team in 2 years.
Yeah,
We'll
I
see what
guess.
happens.
I just think CJ Stroud, I don't think he's good at all. He'll struggle a lot in his rookie year. He may be the worst quarterback next year.
He could be.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Next year.
Yeah,
I think he
it's not
could be.
ridiculous.
He's in like
And-
shitty situation.
I just don't think the
So-
team's ready to compete yet.
No.
They're
Like,
too
just to
young.
win games in the
Yeah.
regular season.
Yeah. Okay. So for 3rd, I have the Colts. I actually have them at 6-11, so not horrible.
Okay.
I still think they have some good pieces there on defense. They still have like Shaq Leonard. He's pretty good. I don't know. They have a decent secondary. And then JT's coming back too. I don't know how he'll be though. He's kind of a question mark. And then rookie quarterback. I don't see them taking much games. Like I don't see them being competitive either. But yeah.
Go ahead.
I have them as at number 3 at 3-14 as well, but I have them as like a 3 to 6 win team. So I don't know where it stands quite yet. I just have them so low is because I think they're not really ready yet either.
Which record, sorry?
3-14, but can jump up to like anywhere between a 3 to a 6 win.
That's fair.
So it's somewhere along the lines of that. I just think once again they can't beat the Titans. They won't beat the Jags. I think, right? I mean, outside of their division, I think they got some couple tough games. So it's like, especially with a rookie quarterback, it's always tough because they know nothing about the league. They're coming in raw, so it's like it's just hard to expect so much for them.
This division annoys me because you expect them not to beat these teams, and then there's this division every year. Remember the one time you guys had the Colts beating the Jags?
And the Jags won like
beat them
3 games all year. The worst team. We lost so much.
And then
so much
like
points.
there's just random times where it's like it would be Titans versus Texans, and the Texans win by 30. This division's just so weird to me. But coming in at number 3, I do have the Indianapolis Colts at 4-13. I like this roster a lot on paper, but I just don't think the secondary is one of the thinnest next to the Rams. I think there's no one in there. Isaiah Rodgers
got suspended. Kenny Moore.
Moore.
He got suspended.
No, Isaiah Rodgers.
Isaiah
Rodgers bye. Gilmore bye. They have just Kenny Moore in that secondary, and I don't even know who plays over top for them in safety. They drafted Julius Brents out of Kansas State, but yeah, that's what scares me. If this in a pass-heavy AFC, if you're gonna do this, it's gonna be tough. They got Buckner and Shaq Leonard on defense, but then you look at the offense. You got a decent O-line which underperformed. Taylor, if he's even there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with
Who
him.
knows? And then receivers, you don't have any super standouts. One thing I'm looking at, though, is Anthony Richardson and Josh Downs' connection this year. I think that the Colts don't have a clear-cut one, and I feel like if they give him reps and they can form some type of rookie connection, I think that maybe Josh Downs can break out to a wide receiver 1 for the Colts, well, at least in that role. But yeah, Colts for me, 4-13, not too impressive. 3-3 in the division, I'll add.
I got the Colts at 4-13. The roster isn't as good as it used to be.
No, I think it's still decent.
It's decent. I think they can still win games, but Anthony Richardson, I don't know if he'll be too good in his rookie year.
No.
And I just think the Colts, all they need to worry about is Anthony Richardson's development. That's all they should care about at all. Nothing else about the team.
Yeah, like I said, I've said before we've gave these record predictions when we talk about Anthony Richardson. He's with Shane Steichen. Just let him learn on the field and off the field. It doesn't matter how many touchdowns you throw. It doesn't matter how many interceptions you throw. It doesn't matter how many games you win. Just learn the NFL for when in the next coming years you'll be better because of this experience, because you have no expectations. So just learn from every opportunity here, even though it will be frustrating because you're used to winning and you just get destroyed every game.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so for number 2, I have the Titans at 9-8. I really wish I could have pushed them into the playoffs, but their schedule's so hard. But I like what they have here. I think Vrabel behind Andy Reid's probably the best coach in the league, in my opinion. He's taken that team to the playoffs 2 of the last 3 years. They've had nobody. Last year they were playing with Willis, who couldn't even throw the ball, and they almost pulled out a game versus even the Chiefs. And then obviously adding Hopkins, I think, will help the offense in general. Their defense is pretty shaky, but I think schematically they've always been solid. And yeah, I have them winning 9. I really want them to make the playoffs, but again, strength of schedule is just too hard. They play so many top teams, so I have them just missing out.
It's a good take of the Titans. Go ahead.
I got the Titans also at 9-8. I just think they won't make the playoffs with this record just because of how loaded the AFC is.
Yeah.
And then outside of division games, they got some tough ones. Don't think they can pull them out just because of how unbalanced their team is. Like, they got a couple spots, and then they got some weak spots. So it's like, I think 9-8. Like, I also like the Titans. I kind of want them to do good.
Me too.
But I just don't think it's possible just on what they've been given. So it's like, it's a tough one.
Coming in at number 2 for me, I have the Tennessee Titans at 8-9. I think it's respectable for the talent on this team. The defense, like you said, Jay, which I really like what you said. They're so schematically solid, but there's no game. Jeffrey Simmons and Byard are game changers, but I don't think it's enough where it can will the defense into the playoffs.
I agree.
They'll win these division games against the Texans, and I have them splitting with the Colts, but I don't see this team making the playoffs because the AFC's too much. But one thing I will never doubt: would I be surprised if this team made the playoffs? No, because Mike Vrabel he's my favorite coach in the NFL. He's not the best coach in the NFL, but he's my favorite just because how he's just in and out. No matter who's on the field for the team, they're so good. A couple years ago, Henry went out for 10 weeks.
Yeah.
The guy won eight of those 10 games.
Yeah, I don't know how they did that.
And he's the focal point of the offense. So, I don't know. It's very hard for the Titans because you're in a QB carousel when you come down the stretch of the year here. Not a lot of weapons. Was Treylon Burks' injury serious? I'm not too sure.
I didn't see anything else
fine.
about it.
You got
He's
D-Hop.
fine? Okay, good.
Henry, I think he's slowly coming out of his prime now.
Yeah.
And he won't be able to, he'll have a couple of monster games, but not consistently. Like he was tearing up the league a couple of years ago. But yeah, the Titans sitting at 8-9, second in the division for me. It's going to be a weird offseason for that team if they don't make the playoffs.
Yep.
I also got the Titans at number 2, 8-9, just like you. QB Ryan Tannehill,
No, his
average
floor or ceiling.
but he has good supporting cast in Hopkins, Burks, Henry, and then Okonkwo. He should break out this year.
Yeah, he should.
But this O-line, it's not the greatest. But I do like the defense. They have a solid D-line, actually. Simmons, Thierry, Tart, and Danico Autry. It's actually underrated, actually. But secondary's developing still. But 8-9, I think will be a solid team. But if they're in the NFC, I think it's a playoff team.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Oh, yeah.
That sucks because I wish like so many AFC teams could be in the playoffs.
I'll just ask a yes or no question here. Are the Titans better than the Saints?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No.
No?
I don't think so either, but I
I
think
do.
it's very close.
I think
They're
their offense
better.
is
I
much
think it's
better.
very close. You
No.
think so?
The Saints
The
are better.
offense?
The Saints are better in every position.
Every position? I think
think
D line I might give it to the Titans. Harold Landry, Jeffrey Simmons. They might have a slight edge on Cam Jordan and whoever the hell is on that
Yeah, the
defensive
Saints
line.
D-line's declining.
I mean, the Saints got a better quarterback. I'm giving the Saints running back room over the Titans running back room.
In a full
Better
committee, but I'm
bet-
taking
yeah.
Henry over
Yeah,
Kamara.
better receivers, better DBs.
Better
I think
DBs.
because Matthew.
Oh
I
yeah,
think, is
better DBs by
Yeah.
far actually
Yeah,
if you
so,
think about it.
I don't think.
Who do we
they-
have the Titans at corner?
Caleb Farley
I
unproven
have-
because he
yeah,
was hurt.
unproven.
He's unproven.
Christian Fulton, Murphy Bunting, McCreary.
Oh, they got him. He's
Farley.
pretty good.
Roger
McCreary.
McCreary, he's good.
Yeah, I like
They
McCreary
actually have
coming
decent
out of
I don't
Yeah.
look at it like who has the more better
if
positions.
you look at it, the one
Yeah.
thing that makes the Titans competitive
Well, yeah.
to the Saints is Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
they're-
only
that's
thing
why
that
I think
makes
they're
them
better. That's why they're better to me.
You think
Yeah.
they're better just because of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think
They
think
have the
there's-
same roster and they have a better coach. So.
I think their
I think
game
there's too
planning's
much
just-
talent. The
Elite.
Titans O line is now it's pretty bad now.
Yeah, it is.
It's pretty
Yeah,
bad.
but they always
The Saints
manage to
O
make
line's
it
not
work.
the best either, but the Titans O line is equally as bad. And I would take Carr over Tannehill.
Yeah, Carr's good.
I'd go as far as say the Saints receiving room clears the Titans receiving room. I think it clears it.
Not clears.
Well, I think
Olave comfortably
Hopkins
over
is the best receiver
for
in that.
Burks, and then you could say D Hop over Michael Thomas.
I would take
but
D-Hop over
a healthy
Olave
Michael
right
Thomas.
now.
Yeah.
Easily.
Prime Michael Thomas, if he
I
comes
would.
back, is better
think
than
so.
D-Hop.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah,
so
but
the
he-
year Michael Thomas had, but
No.
yeah.
He's
I'm
gonna
still
he's
taking
gonna stub his
D-Hop.
toe on walking onto the field.
current
and
D Hop
get-
over if Michael Thomas
carted
returns
off.
back
But
to
he
that
won't.
form.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
He won't.
I
That's
know.
not
But if
happening.
Michael Thomas comes
He's a
back
wide
to-
receiver too.
if he comes back to like 80% of what he was,
Still a
I
good
think
team.
he's better than D Hop.
I
Would you
don't-
have D Hop in your top 10 receivers still?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's definitely there.
Maybe not this year. 'Cause
I
he
don't
might
think
not
I don't
pass
think his
as much
production
as
will
he
be as
used to,
good
but-
because the game plan will be different. But I think that's what they need to do. They can't pass the ball every time with Tannehill. You have to use Henry.
But yeah, no, I just think that the reason the Saints are better, I think there's just more talent. Obviously, Vrabel coaches these players to perform better in these games,
Yeah.
but I just have to. I
Do they
think
play this year?
the just the
I was gonna
talent.
see that.
Let me look.
I don't know.
Titans and Saints play week 1.
They play
Oh.
week 1,
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
but yeah,
That was a
just
good
the
start.
I got
yeah.
the Titans
So we'll
winning
see.
too. So
Just the talent on the roster, I think, just overrules the
steamroll.
Vrabel
let's
coaching.
go. Yeah,
We'll
that's
be
close,
looking at
but-
that game
Hammering
in New
it.
Orleans.
Yeah, so they're
Hammering
winning.
the
That's a
Titans.
win.
That's
That's
a
a
win.
win.
No.
That's a
No.
win by New England for sure.
New
Or
Orleans has
Eng-
too
New
much
Orleans.
new.
What?
They won't be good right away.
You don't think so?
It'll take some time for them to.
I think Carr's a good veteran. I think he'll be fine.
And Kamara's not even playing week 1 either. So
Yeah,
it's
that
all
too.
Titans.
Don't matter.
good luck,
One,
Jamal
it's all
Williams
Titans.
catching the ball to the
All
backfield. That guy's a
Titans.
nightmare.
Get out of here.
He's-
It's a bit
he
too
is
rich
brick
for me.
hands.
Roll Titans.
It's a bit too rich for me. But number 1 here, Jay.
Yeah, I think we all kind of got the same order here. I have Jacksonville at 11-6. Not much to be said here. I have them 5-1 in division. 5-1 in division. I think for the AFC this is pretty good. I still have them as the 4 seed though, at 11-6. That just speaks how good the AFC is. But yeah, I just think they'll beat up on everyone in their division. I have them. I said this already, but I have them 5-1 in division, and then their schedules. Obviously, they play some tough teams. They play the Chiefs and the Bills and the Niners and the
AFC
Bengals
North.
and the AFC North. So, I mean, I think they're a good team, and I mean, Lawrence hasn't even hit his full ceiling yet, and you get Ridley back, so that offense will be a lot better. Their defense is all right, like it's average. I don't think anything super special about it, but I think it's good enough to win games.
I think it's like kind of the same situation as the Bengals. If the
Yeah,
offense
exactly.
is just so good,
Yeah.
the defense will make a couple plays that keep you in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm at 12-5. I like the Jags because Ridley's gonna come in and yeah, it's a lot, but Ridley's gonna come in and make an immediate impact and change this whole offense. Like Ridley's a sleeper, I think, still because he's not even coming off an injury. He's still coming off fresh. He's still, in my opinion, a top receiver. I could say close to top 20 receiver in this league. When
I think he's probably top 20.
He was top 10 before.
I think
that's
once
what I
he
mean.
steps in the
If
field,
he
he'll be
goes
top
off
20.
week 1, he's in top 10
because
conversations.
he's great.
Yeah.
Immediately.
He's great. So like, and then Trevor Lawrence he's just great as
We
well.
know him. He's gonna be.
And then
elite.
Christian Kirk now being elite out of the slot. He's one of the elite slot receivers now. I mean, it didn't seem like that after his contract. It was like, who is this guy? But
Yeah, that was brutal.
he put those things to
Well, now
rest.
that contract doesn't look bad
No.
compared to what people are
he's,
getting
he's
now.
a wide receiver too, though, and he's getting like
I know.
top 10
That's-
money.
Because the market will
That's
just keep
still
going
so
up.
fucked.
But yeah, no, I think they have a good team. I think they got a good coach, Doug Peterson.
I like
Yeah,
him
he-
a lot.
He's
for
a
Lawrence,
good coach.
he's
Yeah.
perfect. For
Yeah, so
Lawrence.
I think it's 12 might be a little much, but I think nothing lower than 10 for this team. I think anything lower than 10 is a very big disappointment.
Like I love the Jaguars, but they've just got a gauntlet of a schedule. I don't know in the regular
it's-
season. In the regular season, they've had that great game against the Cowboys. If you guys remember that shootout, if anyone remembers it, or no?
Oh yeah, the one
in
where
Jacksonville,
Cowboys? Yeah.
they had a massive
Janor,
shootout.
or
Pick
was
six,
it
right?
Jackson
January
Sean
6th,
Jenkins
and
pick six, yeah.
or it was a fumble recovery. One of the
Something
two.
like that. I think he had both in one
Pick.
game. or
Anyways,
something.
but this team it's very good. It's just getting better. Like there's so much young talent. Trayvon Walker, I'm not too high on him, but we can see if he can take maybe another jump for this D line.
yeah, he'll be
I don't
pretty
know. You
good.
don't like to talk about him too much.
No, I think he's
because-
good. I like him better than that Thibodeau idiot.
You think so?
Yeah, I
spicy.
well, I just like, I don't know. I don't really have anything to say about him, but I saw Trayvon Walker beat Sewell in practice once.
Okay,
and he
so
looked pretty
there's a
good,
little
so
bit of respect, but
I
Jacksonville
gotta show him some respect.
coming in at number 1 for me is the Jacksonville Jaguars at 9-7-1. This team wins. Remember, I had them.
Is this the
I had
tie?
them having a
The
tie against the
throwback tie?
Browns.
Below 10 wins is disrespectful.
I don't think it is because we're gonna go through the schedule.
It doesn't really matter though.
schedule's
'cause
not
as long as they
bad.
win
I
the
think
division.
it's very difficult. And you look at this team. I love everything about this team. They're going to win the division comfortably, in my opinion. I just don't think that. I don't want to. I was thinking this today. Is it crazy to say this team is basically just waiting for the playoffs? It just seems like a
No.
well-rounded team.
Well, I
with
wouldn't
Doug
say
It's a
so.
Peterson.
two-horse race.
You
It's
have
them
to
and
get
the
a high
Titans.
seed in the playoffs.
You got-
But
you have to respect the
Doug
Titans.
Peterson knows the ways of the playoffs. And he's not looking at this team like we're gonna have a better regular season record than the Bengals, Chiefs, all these
Why
guys.
not?
They
That
can,
doesn't
they
even
can,
matter
they
to
can
them.
obviously compete with that, but looking at the schedule, it's gonna be hard. But the Jaguars, I feel like they're a team where they get into the playoffs, and you put them up against anyone, and I think they can win a playoff game. I think it's not crazy to say that because it's just such a good team. Lawrence, he might have thrown those 4 interceptions in the playoffs, but I think he looked fantastic against Kansas City in that divisional round. And this team's only getting better. 9-7-1. They win the division for me, but it's a little bit more losses than people obviously will have. Go ahead, Joey.
I got the Jaguars number 1, 11-6. I think it's disrespectful to put them below 10 wins with the worst division. I'd say the worst division in
Oh, yeah.
football.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so.
There's two
Like the
horrendous
offense is
teams.
so good. Like it competes with the Chiefs, Bengals, Bills. It's close. With Trevor Lawrence, he's going to take another step up in an electric receiving core with Etienne in year 3 or
Well,
year 2
basically
for
year
him.
2.
And then Tank Bigsby, look out for him in the backfield.
Yeah.
The offensive line isn't great, but the defense is average, but it does have potential with like young players that
Reminds
could
me of the Bengals.
take a
Like
leap.
there's just when
Yeah.
they're competitive, there's gonna be random guys that we all know as household names
Mhm.
now, like Sam Hubbard. We know household name. Chidobe Awuzie. Like
Yeah.
that's gonna be like Tyson Campbell, Josh Allen. He's pretty
Yeah.
known. Felix. Well, no, they didn't draft him. I thought they drafted. He's on Kansas City.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, 11-6 for you.
Yeah.
I think the Jags and the Bengals are like pretty similar teams. Or is that
Yeah, I
kinda
think
dumb
so,
to say?
too.
Like they're
I agree.
Like the
basically,
Bengals
it's
aren't like this and this. It's
no,
like
it's like
that.
almost like fluctuating because like
Yeah.
if you look at each position, it's like they're kind of like, okay, that's close, that's
Yeah.
close. It's like
But yeah, I want to go through the Jaguars schedule here, and we'll go game by game
Alright.
here, and we could just call it out on the consensus here. Just
You-
call it
you
out
can
for
go
us,
ahead,
Joey.
Chunk, if you have it up.
I have it right here if you need it.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, week 1 at the Colts. I think they win this game.
Have that as a win.
yeah,
Want to know?
And then they're at home against the Chiefs. That could be a lot.
I just have a loss for that because the
Yeah.
Chiefs are so
Mhm.
good in the regular season too.
And then at home at the against the Texans, they win
I have
that.
that as a win. I do one more thing. I do have the Jags at 5-1 in the division. I believe I have them losing once to the Titans.
I think that's
Okay.
what I have.
And
so
then
yeah, we're at 2-1, right? Yeah.
yeah, 2-1, and then in London against the Falcons. I think
I
they
bet it's
win
a
that
win.
game.
it's a win.
And then against the Bills in London.
I have that as a loss.
Yeah,
You
Dude, they play
can't back to
back-to-back
back.
in
Like,
London.
come on,
That's
who does
crazy.
that?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
And then they're at home against the Colts. I think they sweep the Colts, in
Yeah,
my opinion.
so do I.
think they
Oh,
win
wait.
that.
I have that as a win.
And then they're in New Orleans. I have that as a loss, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would have that
I
as
have
a
them
loss.
beating
I
New
think it's a
Orleans,
50-50 game. I think it's a loss though.
And then I have them going to the Steelers. I have them going like 1-1 in those games, so
Well,
they could lose that one too.
I have them losing to the Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers.
Oh.
And then tying the Browns. So I do have this as a loss.
All right, and then off their bye, they're at home against San Fran, but San Fran's also on their bye week.
So like
I have them beating them.
I
but
have
don't
this
know.
as a loss, obviously, but I
That's
have
hard to say.
this is like where they're gonna win a couple of these gauntlet games, Bills,
Mhm.
stuff like that. Go ahead.
And then at home against the Titans,
I have this as a win,
yeah.
and the next one would
And
be
then
split
Texans on the road,
win.
a win. And then against the Bengals at home, it's a close one.
I have it as a
I
loss.
have
but
it as
it's
a loss,
close.
too.
It's close. It's a close one for sure.
And then in Cleveland,
I have this as a tie, but
I have it as a win.
what do you have it as?
I have them losing to Cleveland, but I had them beat
I don't
San
know.
Fran. So
And then at home against Baltimore.
I think I had this
I have
as
as a
loss.
win.
I think I
them-
did.
I had them
Well,
beat
last year
Baltimore.
Baltimore shit the bed in Jacksonville.
It'll happen
So-
again. At Baltimore.
Go ahead.
And then they're in Tampa Bay. They'll win
Win,
that.
yeah.
They'll be tanking
Win.
at that point. And then at home against Carolina. Carolina will be good at that
I have
point.
this as a
But,
win.
I had
this-
them beating Carolina. And then
and then in Tennessee.
I hope that means something.
Like
That'd
we
be
had
so
a
sick.
split. So
That'd be so fire if that's for the division.
That has to be at least 10-7.
one. Well, you had okay. So if you don't count my tie, this goes.
If it goes to the Jags, that Cleveland game,
Yeah.
it's at least 10-7.
Hold on.
The way I have this last game,
9
of the
and
year, the winner goes to the
9 and
playoffs.
9-8.
I don't know. You guys just had them losing a lot of close games.
Yeah. Well, you think the Jags are one of these teams that can be great in these
Yeah.
type of games?
I can pull out some close games.
Like it's not like
So,
every
you
time
think they
they.
can go beat like the 49ers in the regular season.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they can.
Like you see them
Like
as
the
one of these
49ers
teams.
always have those games where they just. I don't
Yeah,
know.
they-
Like
had
you
a
see
couple
them as
games
one of
last
these
year
teams
that
when they
just
play
bad.
these like big time 4 p.m. games against these Chiefs, the Bengals, the Ravens.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
ready for
I
it.
think they're like.
Do you think they're ready for this? Where
I think
they're
they are.
Yeah.
They're like 2
they're
or 3
built up
point
and they're
underdogs
just
and
in
all
these
those, but-
shootouts against these
yeah.
teams for
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
They're good
Okay.
enough now.
But yeah, for me, I got the Jaguars 9-7 and 1/4 in the AFC.
Yeah.
Are we doing
What
number?
seed?
4th.
Yeah.
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 You got them 4?
I'd have them
Yeah.
4. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, because you got to
3
put.
or 4.
Did you
I
guys-
got the.
Maybe
So
three.
right now, I do have the Bengals at 5. It would be Jaguars Bengals, my wild card matchup,
Mm.
and then I do have the Ravens at 2 right now. So,
Ravens at 8.
8 and 9.
8 9. I have them 8 seed at 11
We'll
and
see.
6.
This
Dude,
is-
I feel like my predictions are so wrong, but I just
I
picked the
can't
better
wait
team.
for
And the
this.
AFC team won every time.
can't
Yeah.
because we got this on record, so I can't wait for this generational hating to finally stop against the Ravens. The Ravens slander is getting too far. Under 500 is an insane
No.
projection.
I think they realistically can go 10-7.
Oh my gosh.
But 13 wins is like
That's a lot. That's why I'm at 11.
they're not
I have them at
winning
11.
4 more games than the Jaguars. Like that is crazy.
Yeah, I think the Jaguars
Why not?
roster is probably better than
Because the
them.
Jaguars
Oh,
are
that
better.
right
No,
now.
you can't say that.
It's close to it, for
What?
sure.
You can't say that.
Yeah.
The Jaguars roster is better than the Ravens.
I mean,
It is. Their
the Ravens
defense
are-
is the same.
What?
Yeah.
And Trevor
The
Lawrence
defense
will be
clears.
No, the defense.
The
isn't
Ravens
that good.
defense clears the
And
Jaguars
then
defense.
Trevor Lawrence is as good as Lamar, and then the running backs.
They're in the okay
running
right
back-
now. Currently, they're in the same range.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7.
Mhm. I don't know.
But when the Ravens win the division, we'll just come back to this because I can't stand this hatred against Lamar. I don't know.
I think the Steelers are better.
Well,
Holy
next
shit.
Friday we've got AFC West record prediction.
too. Ooh.
Oh, I'm excited for this one. Broncos record
Yeah.
prediction reveal.
Oh shit.
Thank you for watching episode 19 of the Alec Frengos Show. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.